Hey y'all, welcome to episode 271 of Consignment Chats. Libby, you know how most people think reselling is hard and they think it's because of platforms and sourcing, and maybe it's because of a few things we've been going through lately, slow sales.
Mm,
But we know the truth. The
yeah,
hardest part of reselling is what is happening inside your own head. That is the hardest part.
it is. And we like to skate past that a lot and just, put it externally like, oh, it's the slow sales. It's oh, this platform did this. And, that's really easy for me right now. I got all the excuses, all the things to
We get all the
blame.
external
Oh,
things to,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
like when you think
Hmm.
about it, there's always that stuff, right? That's not going to change. There's always that
Never.
stuff that's happening, that's frustrating, that's beyond our control. Oh, yes. But
Yeah. Yeah.
what we got to think about is who we are and how we proceed. And I think that's the hardest part, right? And that's the
Yeah.
part we often overlook. Like, just keep going, just keep doing, just hit those tactics, just do that. And we don't stop to really be like, all right, well, I got to look at what's going on in here. And yeah, it makes it a
Yeah.
little difficult. It also gets us caught up in some uh, situations that we really shouldn't be caught up in, right?
Hey, y'all. Welcome to Consignment Chats, reselling tips, mindset, real life. Hit subscribe and let's grow
You know what we're
together.
talking about. We're going to provide some real life examples here of things that could have gone much differently. Yeah.
Yeah, I was discussing some of this past week when I was away with my reseller friend, about some of the struggles and about how when we entered this industry that I and I say I, maybe we, but I know I for sure bragged for many a year. In fact, in the beginning of the earlier episodes of Consignment Chats, would say all the time that this is such a non-compete business and everybody is so supportive and wonderful and da, da, da.
Hmm.
And I was floating away in this little dreamland of everybody said, but with any group, not everybody is that way. And I don't know why in my mind I thought I was living in some fluttery fairy tale land over here, that everything was perfect and beautiful. So when real life situations came, I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I was blindsided by behaviors that didn't line up with who I am and who we are. So let's talk about that because we have had some real life situations.
Yeah, like not prepared for that, right? Like everything is rosy, everything is good, everybody has, everybody else's best interest at heart. And
Do I have to put on my rose colored
yeah,
glasses again?
yeah, you were wearing
My
those for
heart.
a long time, honey. So we don't have to think about those, like we didn't have to. And I mean, things were like that for a considerable amount of time. And we didn't have to think about like, all right, what happens if, you know, that's not exactly true. What happens when the difficult situation arises? And
Yeah.
not being prepared for that, not being fully seated with our immutable laws and our character ethics, and not knowing truly what we like. If it's not tested, why would you even go there? Why
Right.
would you even look?
Right.
Yeah. And then
Right.
life starts to get carried away, things start rolling, and you're just
And I
you're just
guess our
not
community
prepared,
expanded, right? Like we
right? Hmm.
expanded as people in the business. The more we got out there and met more people, I guess the more chance of the other half coming in, the half that doesn't align with us, those that don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think being more rooted in we're not for everybody would have helped that. And maybe like as consignment sellers, I guess any reseller really, like you start to get a sense of that fairly quickly, right? Like we're not for everybody. Like there are going to be those things that don't match, our ethics, our character, our, I don't want to work with this person, or I choose not to work with this person because, maybe they have a different motivation than I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about that in episodes. In fact, we talked about that last week. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Gosh, my mind is just not together with dates. But when we were on Stars, Flippin' Hippos live,
Mm,
we were talking a lot about, oh my gosh, I totally just lost my thought. Anyway,
I'm
we were
sorry.
talking about whatever we were talking about. Y'all, this is real life struggle right now. Real life struggle. That thought totally. I was. What were you saying before that, Libby? Come on, get me back on track.
Um, yeah, I was just saying, like, when those struggles presented themselves, like when certain things started to happen, we weren't prepared. But like dealing with consigners, consignment, like we did have a little bit of preparation. Like not everybody is, matches what our character.
See, you brought me back. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All
So
right. Yeah. Here
we
we
actually
go.
had one of the questions. Somebody asked a question in the comments on the live about, how you we say break up with a consigner. Like, how do you do that? And it is a reality that
Mm-hmm.
we have had to do that, and we encourage people to do that if the fit is not right. I mean, you need to do that, and you need to do that in your personal life with people. You need to do that in your work life, and sometimes I think we forget about that in our work life, about the fact that you need to break up with certain people or platforms or things that don't align with you.
For me, there was a huge, huge moment when we were reading, when Jason and I were doing the pumpkin plan. There was a huge moment, I think, for both of us, right? Because like we think about like it had you list what your immutable laws were, like pretty much what your ethics were, what the things that are important to you are. And
Mhm.
as a person, right? Like it was like trust, honesty, authenticity, like ours were different, but there were those things. And there was this moment in the book where Mike Michalowicz talks about Jill Drink, where Mike Michalowicz talks about those same rules apply in business, same
Mhm.
exact ones, right? And I had
Mhm.
never made the distinction. Like it was total, I had made the distinction, right? There was my business life, there was my personal life. And what
Right.
my rules were for business, for some reason, I thought were different for personal. Like I was
Yeah.
strong in them in my personal life, and business, I'd be like, all right, well, that's a good deal. I'm just going to
Mhm.
proceed. And his
Mhm.
point in the book was like, if you do that, it doesn't end well. Like there's never a good
Mhm.
outcome if you're working with somebody that doesn't match what those immutable laws are for you. And I thought back and I was like, oh, yeah. And it
Yeah.
just gave me permission to be like, all right, if somebody doesn't match what is important to me in business, that's
Mhm.
that's equally as important. It doesn't end well. Like eventually there's some kind of, conflict, there's some kind of blow up, there's something that is not going to work. And in the long run, even though it seems like a good deal in the beginning, right? Like you're chasing that thing, that really good deal, that really big deal, that really
Right.
great sponsorship, when I'm talking about consignment chats that, and you're overlooking that. Like I didn't give myself permission to go, all right, that doesn't match like what is important to me as a
Correct.
person. And
Well,
so easy to do in business. Maybe we're
yeah,
really
I
good at it
think
in our personal lives, but business, like it's equally as important. That changed everything. Like that was
yeah,
nuts.
I think there's a difference too because you have your constant consignment business, right?
Mhm.
And then we have Consignment Chats business where three of us are together. So it's not just one person making that decision, it's multiple people making decisions
Mhm.
about things. And I'm going to say this not to, I don't want this to come across as a braggy thing, but we were dealing with a sponsor in the past where I finally had to say to you guys, look, I'm not comfortable putting their name out anywhere anymore.
Mhm.
If you
Mhm.
guys want to do it beyond that, that's but for me and who I am, and I think I was strong about it because I had just gone through this in my, well, it was a personal slash business life back right before starting Consignment Chat. So it was raw and it was there and fresh, more fresh for me to be able to say, I disagree with the morals and values. And I was nervous to say it because it's not just me, it's two
Yeah.
others, and we have to agree. I don't know why I was, because I know where you guys align too which is
Mhm.
why we're this many years into this business and still get along like sisters, like besties that we
Mhm.
are. I don't know why. I think because anybody who puts something out there that isn't beautiful unicorns and rainbows gets a little nervous that there might be some feedback that you don't like. But yeah, you guys were right on board. And we're like, no, I agree. We
Yeah.
need to just sever this and just cut the head off the snake and be done because it's not who we are. And
Mhm.
it's a hard decision to make, especially if within those relationships you've built friendships. And
Mhm.
my whole philosophy behind it was if people involved in this business relationship are my friends, true friends will be friends beyond this business relationship.
Mhm.
And that's a lesson to learn. Sometimes it's a great one, sometimes it's a hard one, but staying true to who you are and what your core beliefs are is so important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
important. So important.
And like, so my 2023, 2024, I'm going to consider this like a huge success is the fact that I worked harder on myself than I did on my business. And,
Mhm.
I heard that somewhere. I don't even know where I heard it at this point. But like, I just kept saying, all right, you know what? Like, I figure this stuff out, know what my, immutable laws are, know what's really important to me. Like, I think you need to stop and take some, a moment of reflection there and figure out like what's and is what you're doing in your business aligning with that, and you'll find some like crazy things. And in the when we're finishing up this week the 7 habits of highly effective people, um the whole beginning of this, the whole part one of this book is all about that. It just kind of blew my mind. It's all about like inside out, right? And I thought this is exactly what I've been practicing, and it's so important. It changes everything when you stop and you think and you're not chasing or maybe money is one of your immutable like I don't know what yours are.
Right. Right.
Maybe that is generally people don't have that as like a, as a character ethic, but I'm not saying it's impossible. But, if that is important to you, but like if it's not, I mean, it's important to all of us, let's be honest. Like we're making a living here, we're supporting our family, but how do we do that in a, truly way that matches up? Because it's so easy to get caught up in that great deal, that incredible, like maybe you're doing in a state that you don't feel quite right about. Like something is a little
Mhm.
off, like something is a little shady. Like, do you proceed? Like these are real life things that happen. Do you
Absolutely.
proceed? Do you feel like somebody is not, doing it for the right reason, selling that estate? It's very easy to get caught up in that. Oh, but it's a great deal, like I'm going to make so
Right.
much money on this.
Right.
In the long run, probably not the best idea if it's not matching up, but it's very easy if you don't stop and take a moment and reflect on what's important to you and like who you truly are. So easy to get caught up in those moments, and life keeps going and keeps building on
Mhm.
that, and then eventually things do
One
align.
thing that I remind myself with things like that example, when it comes to things like an estate or sourcing decisions and where to source and do I want to
Mhm.
support this nonprofit or that
Mhm.
nonprofit when I'm going to the thrift store, that kind of thing. And y'all, there's so much stuff. I say stuff. There's so much
Stuff.
stuff out there. Why go against something that your gut tells you not to do? It's you may walk away from that because your gut told you not to, then walk away proudly because guess what? You're going to find more stuff because it is everywhere. So if it's breaking up with a local thrift store because you find out something that you don't like about them, maybe they're doing something shady behind the scenes with the book, whatever, or it's like you were saying, an estate that somebody's offering, but as time goes on and the more you learn about this person, you get a yucky feeling. It's okay to walk away. There's always going to be more. The right ones do come. Trust
Mhm.
me, they come. The right
Yep.
ones come. And
Yep.
they don't stop coming. They don't stop coming. And then you don't have to have that gross, yucky feeling that You made a deal with the devil, and then you're stuck in that deal for as long as that contracted term is, or whatever you've done. You don't have to be stuck with that. You get to walk away and go, nope, this is not for me.
Mhm. And I
Not
mean,
for me.
we've all made that mistake. I think we've all anybody as a
Mhm.
reseller has made that mistake and, taken on something that they shouldn't have and, learned the hard way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's painful. It's
I think
painful. You get caught up in it. So easy to get caught up in it.
I think a big thing that helps with the not helps, but it maybe pushes you to the getting caught up in it is social media and following other
Mm.
resellers, and especially those of us that do the YouTube haul videos and the sourcing videos and the look what I found and flip
Mhm.
for this or da 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 da. We talk about comparison all the time. Comparison, comparison, comparison. And that is a way to not be true to yourself. As soon as you start comparing with other people and what they're doing, you're throwing out being true to who you are because you're looking at who they are. And
Mm.
I really try to go of the mindset of, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I am so happy for them that they found that item. What that's going to be a great flip for them. Then the, oh, God, I wish I would have been the one to find that, you know. And I have that attitude when I'm in a thrift store sourcing with other resellers. I always try to have that because you're in there and we can all spot the other resellers. We know each other when we see each other. And I get excited for a lot of people when they find something. I'm like, oh my gosh, what an awesome find. That's going to be great. You're going to do great with that. Good job.
Yeah.
Um, because the other side of that is to compare and then get into somebody who you're not. So,
Yeah, and if you don't know who you are, if you haven't
mhm,
stopped and taken a moment to reflect on, all right, this is what's important to me. This is my vision. So
yeah,
much easier to get caught up in that. And I
yeah,
love social media as the example because like as being on YouTube, it's very easy to get caught up in, all right, well, this is what my followers want. This is
right.
what, people, you know, watch, or maybe it's
Hmm.
not even your followers. Maybe it's like the general broader audience. All right,
Public,
so I'm going
right,
to do this. I'm going to, strap a camera on and go to estate sales or go to yard sales and do this. But I don't like this. Like, I don't feel that this is like true to what I want to do. Like, that's
right.
another way to get caught up into trying to like please people. Very easy to do when you're on social media, YouTube. This is, oh, this is what I should be doing.
Right.
And pretty
It's
soon you're
more
miserable doing it because,
correct. You got to
well,
do what feels right for you. I just recently saw one of the bigger YouTube resellers out there just posted a post about the reality of what they do, and that you get on there and put your videos on and everybody thinks, oh, and they'll get on there and comment about, oh, well, you say, I'm going to use the word cool. Why do you say cool so much? People will get in the feedback and put silly little things out there. But what they don't realize, because they think, oh, this person's out there in the limelight, living the
mhm,
dream, making
mhm,
these videos. They're famous. People want to take their pictures with them when they see them, and this, that, and the other. And what they did was posted, that is not my reality. What you don't
mm,
understand is that I literally shake when I strap that camera on and walk into somebody's home. I literally shake because I never know what's going to happen. And I get that as somebody who does that. I get
mhm,
it because you don't know if I've had people come up to me and say things to me and ask what I'm doing. I mean, we were in Denver at the Benz. I had a woman come up and, are you filming faces? You can't be, getting all over me at the bins. And I'm like, no, the camera's pointed down at the items, not up at the faces. But people get upset, and that can cause a lot of anxiety, especially if you are somebody who does not like confrontation. I mean, I like to think nobody likes confrontation, but I think there are some people that do get a little high off of that. But I know I don't. and I don't want it. And so it does, you know, you don't know what kind of people you're walking into. I have my happy camper estate sale people. They don't care about my camera. They are happy with me having it. So I don't get nervous when I go in and see them.
They're
Um,
such happy campers, aren't
they're
they?
such a happy
Such a
campers,
great name.
but the whole thing of this post was that, you know, they spend all this time, they've got kids, they've got a home, they're doing all of this. Yes, they enjoy it, but it's not as easy as you think it is. It
Mm,
is a full-time plus job, especially to be being a reseller alone is a full-time hard job. There's a lot that goes into it. Then if you put also being an influencer and doing YouTube videos and all, it's a lot more. And then you want to do that and try to stay true to who you are while doing it so that you're authentically you, which is huge for me. But even me, who, if you've listened to our previous episodes, how many times have I gotten on the authenticity soapbox? Like, be true to who
mhm.
you are. But I find myself all the time worrying about when I do a video, like, what should my format be? This format isn't as exciting as that format that they did. And how get, like, if I am just me, people who like me will find me, and those who don't, dadgummit, they can just find somebody else. But it was, I think, very eye-opening reading this post the other day and realizing that, you know, even the biggest of the biggest struggle, and we need to remember that we are all real people and we all have real struggles. And they posted about, you know, mental health has to come first, and that is so true.
Mm,
So true that mental health has to come first. So they ended up not even going to estate sales they were going to go to because of the stress level and some comments they had gotten. They just needed a break. And
yeah,
I thought, well, good for you. You need to
yeah.
put yourself first, and good for you to realize that and do that, and good for you to put it out on social media and be real and raw and show the real who you are and the feelings you're feeling. So,
Yeah, and I mean, how much appreciation did you like, you're still thinking about it, you're still
oh,
thinking about it,
100%.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it's that authenticity is a connection. Like, it's cool to see behind the scenes and, everybody is it is real. Like, how can we take that and be I think we are pretty authentic in our episodes.
Yes.
Um, but like how can we take we always like the big joke was, we'd spend all these hours polishing a social media post or, polishing a video, looking great in the video, doing our makeup, doing all the things. And
Y'all see me now. I got zero makeup on and I'm here. Here I am.
and was that what people responded to?
No.
No. No.
No.
It was the the post you were talking about. It was that
Yeah.
real authenticity, right? All right, I don't need to
Right.
say that. That authenticity that people respond to and connect to and probably can,
Right.
make a better decision if you meet their, immutable laws. Like you can
Right.
connect with someone and that's real. It's not polished. It's not and I think that's a really important part of doing
Yeah.
anything, but we're so conditioned to wear a mask to especially if we're coming from like corporate jobs or something, like we're so conditioned to that. And this is a totally different ball game here,
Yeah.
on social, like when you're doing a business, when you're trying to connect with people. I mean, we're
Yeah.
where resellers level up. Consignment chats is where resellers level up. And I think, showing a perfectly polished, you know, background, which, we're not, uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
or,
Mhm. No.
having your house always in, perfect condition or, wearing the makeup all the time and, being that's not the reality. That's not authentic.
No, girl. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna be so authentic right now. Libby and I got up this morning and met in our meeting before our motivation in minutes, and both of us showed up and we looked like we had just rolled out of bed. And I'm like, I did not get any sleep last night. Libby's like, I don't feel well. And we're like, okay, but we're gonna dig deep and we're gonna motivate our people. And Libby's got a good show up quote, and she showed up, and what did one of our members say at the end, what they were grateful for? Libby being true to where she was that morning and being honest about, look, I'm struggling today and it took everything for me to show up. So
Yeah.
I'm here and I showed up. And that, usually Libby is our motivation leader in the morning and always la 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 when we're all like, give me coffee. But she showed up authentic to where she was this morning, and it was received with open arms, as of course we knew our community would. But that is our reality, and we're here recording right now, and we're not 100%. We are
Yeah.
just not, and we don't have our Samantha, which makes us even not more 100%. But we're here and we're doing it, and this is real. This is us,
Yeah.
and we do the things, and we do them true to who we are. So
Yeah.
here it is. Here it is. So,
That's what
all
we
right,
got.
let's talk real quick
Yeah.
about the kind of that how to work from the inside out. Like, how to change your mindset, how to shift that internal shift, how to make that internal shift.
Yeah. So, all right. I've never heard this before, but I thought it was like an awesome explanation. Is like I'm not going to get real technical here, but I'm going to do my best to describe it. Is like a personality ethic and a character ethic, right? And most of us, like, I love motivation. I love self-help videos, self-help books. I need all the help I can get. And a lot of them deal with what Stephen Covey says is the personality ethic, right? It might be a band-aid on how to deal with people more effectively, how to motivate yourself, how to build confidence, how to do all these things. There's a lot of like quick fixes that aren't necessarily bad. They're helpful, right? But it's like putting a band-aid on a massive wound, right? Like it's not going to, in the long run, it's not going to change anything. Like you might have this strategy that helps you resolve a conflict, but
Mhm.
until you like really stop and look at the character ethic, like what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on the inside, it's just a band-aid. Like you have to fix that. Like you have a huge wound, like you have to fix that. And
Yeah.
and then you can use these strategies way more effectively. So like what that looks like for me is really putting some thought into a vision, into where I want to go, into what your immutable laws are, like what is important to you. Like I have my vision right up here in front of me at all times. It's my screensaver on my phone, and it reminds me of like what I'm fixing. And when and I really do believe that a vision is essential for everyone if you're going to cause like have something to refer back to. Like I would say that would be step number one, like have that vision, and you're going to know what
Mhm.
your character ethics are. And those are the things you really need to consider. Like if I'm having, I rewatched a reseller reflection. It was from like a really rough period. And generally, this is how I was raised. And I think most of us of this, that are this age have this kind of mindset. All right, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps, just get going, just slap a smile on, just, stage door, let's go, let's do this day, right? And you
Mhm.
muddle your way through with all these band-aid fixes, and you get through your day, and you just muscle your way through, like strong, 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 muscle your way through. And I changed something on that particular day, and I thought, "No, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take some time in the morning, and I am not gonna proceed pulling myself up by the bootstraps, muscling through. I am going to stop. I'm going to fix what's bothering me, or at least consider it for a time period, and then proceed with my day." And that's kind of like the daily implementation of that. Like that changed everything about my life, everything about that particular day is like, nah, you got to go through it. You got to figure it out inside before you can put any of those fixes into play, before you can effectively do anything. Because before I would get through the day, I mean, you saw me repeat this cycle 1,000 times. What does it lead to?
Mhm.
Absolute and total burnout, right? Like you've
Right.
seen me crash and burn and
Mhm.
repeat that cycle over and over again in my life, because I was just putting band-aids on it. I was just fixing it, using the quick fixes. Yeah. So that's what it looks like in a day for that's what it looked like in a day for me to kind of implement these things. Am I doing it perfectly? Absolutely not. Do I need reminders all the time? Definitely.
Absolutely. That's what our group is for. And I was going to say one of the things that you help me with and still get on me about that I think is essential in doing this is the words that come out of your mouth. Um, we always joke about and list not joke because we are serious about it, dadgummit, but the four-letter words in Listapalooza.
Mm.
I just listed five, or I only listed three,
Hmm.
or that kind of talk also affects these things. And I think having that vision and getting yourself in the right line and changing and really thinking about how you say things to yourself. Libby gets on me all the time because I am bad about talking bad about myself. But
Well,
I do
I
it.
mean, you and I'm going to call out Vanessa, the diabetic reseller here, because this is you
Uh,
guys will say something, and you both do it. You'll
uh-huh.
say something, and it'll be totally like negative about yourself, and you both say, "Well, I'm just joking."
Joking, right? I'm just joking. I don't take it to heart when I say it. But then Libby reminds me, what, Libby?
That thought is there, right? Like there's unfortunately, fortunately an element of truth to every joke, every like little put down, every self-deprecating kind of thing. Now, not, we can all be self-deprecating and it is funny, but like, there is an element of truth to that. That is a thought in your head. If it's coming out of your mouth, it is
Right.
absolutely a real thought in your head, and it is not good. It is not good for your
It's
mental
not
health.
good.
It is
So
not
y'all
feeding you
find
goodness. It's
yourself
there.
friends that'll call you out when you do that because you need it. And it's one of those things that has just always been it, it's always been what I've all my life, right? So
Mhm.
it's like how do I break that habit? Well, you got Libby calling you out, and eventually you'll break it.
And it doesn't go well. It's never gone well when I've called you out or Vanessa out. It's never gone well. I get a lot of, well, you just don't understand. It's a total joke. Like I get a lot of, but I feel that strongly that
You do, and listen, as much as we might combat you when you call us out, I can't speak for Vanessa. I can only speak for myself. But as much as I combat you or knee jerk react to the call out, it gets processed and thought about.
I know it
Trust
does.
me,
That's why I continue.
it does. Because I'm gonna break through, dadgummit. I'm gonna break through.
But I
I'm
mean,
gonna
we
break
all need
through.
those reminders, right? It's so
Yeah,
easy. It's so easy to do that to ourselves. Like it's so easy to do that to like, oh, you look good today. Oh well, I've got a pound of
I
makeup on.
right, right. Oh, well, these shoes are a little, not quite matching, or the pants are a little tight in the hips, or whatever. I have really tried to be better about that because I've been called out so many times about not just taking a compliment. Every compliment that I get, I go back with a that kind of reaction. Oh well, but I need to get my hair cut. My roots are 2 inches long, or instead of just saying, "Oh, thank you, I really appreciate that."
I think myself, I would
Boom.
do the same thing. And I don't remember, it might have been you that said this, that, it was this going a couple years back when
Uh-huh.
somebody gives you a compliment, like you're actually insulting them by, if they say, oh,
Absolutely.
your hair looks good. And you say, oh, well, I have 2 inches of roots here, blah, 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 blah. Like you're actually like giving them a little
Right.
slap by,
Yes, we
by
talked
saying
about that.
that. They think,
Yes.
all right, well,
See, and I can say that, but I still do it. So I have really been trying hard to be conscious of that habit because that has been a lifelong habit. And when it's something you've done all your life, it's hard to break. So I've really been conscious of that. And sometimes I've said, "Oh, I'm sorry. That should thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that."
I just did it this morning. I just did it this morning. Like, it's
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not all these things I hope help you, but remember the thing to focus on is internally, because the more you grow internally, the stronger your business becomes externally. So keep that focus. Remember that you are important in what's going on internally. And as Libby said, we highly recommend, if you don't have your vision, start with your vision, start with your business mission statement, get all that together so you really can do a deep dive on what is important to you and
Yeah.
what you want your business to reflect, do.
And
So,
if you find it overwhelming, jot down a couple bullet points. You know, I
yeah,
want to I want to sell collectible board game pieces, whatever. Like just jot down a couple of things. I want to, walk every day. I want to, just it doesn't have to be fluffy, and it could be like a bullet point list of 3 things. And all right, you know what? I just thought
wait a
about
minute, it
another
doesn't have to be
example.
perfect.
Oh, no. No. Be authentic to who you are. Be real, even with your vision statement. Maybe it's a haphazard thing scrawled on a post-it note. Who cares?
Right,
Yeah. But, I thought of a funny example. It's not really funny because we hear it all the time. You're like, oh, wow, that's a really good sale. Like, I'll say that to you. I'll say that to Samantha. Like, we all say it to each other. And then, you come back and be like, oh, but that is, oh, but I paid up for that. Or, oh, I got that from somebody, that was, and you make excuses, like, even for things like
right,
that. Like, somebody's giving you a compliment on that's great sale.
right. When you should just say thank
Well,
you. That's
yeah.
exciting. It's very exciting. I think a lot of that too is we don't want to come across braggy. Like, I know I've thought about that when I share sales on social media. I want to
Yeah.
share
Yeah.
them, but I don't want, and I'm over that now because my
Good.
reason for sharing is not to brag, it's to educate people.
Yeah.
Because I learn about products that I normally wouldn't look twice at if I
Hmm.
hadn't seen somebody else post that item and show me what they sold it for. And then I see that same item here in a thrift store and go, oh, I just saw this guy post this on his social media and he made $50. I'm going to grab that. That's why I like to post what sold stuff when I do it. That is why I do it. It is not to be braggy. So I need to let that go because that is not why I do it.
I think everybody needs to let that go. And if somebody's not out there celebrating your wins with you and excited for you, they shouldn't be watching. End of story.
They're not your
They're
people.
not your people, and it's fine.
They're not your people.
Like Samantha in her
All right.
cookie jar, the tiger cookie jar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an awesome sale.
And that was from watching somebody else find that item
Right.
and, put it out there, how well they did with it. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, y'all. We hope this helped. I know we all missed Samantha today, but she'll be back. She had a
Oh,
little
yeah.
vacation weekend. But we hope that this helped. Leave us comments. Let us know if any of this resonates with you. Do you have a plan moving forward? Did you already have a vision statement? Are you making one now?
Mm.
I want to know that.
Do you need
All right.
help and you want to hop in our Patreon group? Go ahead and do that.
We're available. We're always available. All right, Libby. Until next time. Here, let me get our
Cheers.
faces.
Oh,
Cheers.
cheers. Thanks for being here with us on Consignment Chat. Find everything we do at consignmentchats.com and stay connected with us by subscribing wherever you listen or watch. We'll see you next time.